Our top story this afternoon comes from Hong Kong. More than a dozen people, including two pro-democracy lawmakers, have been arrested by the Hong Kong police in connection with anti-government protests. Democratic Party legislators Ted Hui Ching-fung and Lam Cheuk-ting are among those who have been arrested. The arrests have been made in connection with the Yuen Long protests that took place in July last year. However, the charges against them have not yet been made clear. Thirteen of these arrests are on suspicion of participating in protests that were held in the Yuen Long district in 2019. Many demonstrators were assaulted during these protests, leading to a massive show of public opposition towards the police. The police have been ramping up arrests of pro-democracy activists and lawmakers. Earlier this month, media tycoon Jimmy Lai and pro-democracy activist Agnes Chow were arrested under China's new national security law imposed over Hong Kong. The two were later released on bail. The crackdown on pro-democracy advocates continues, including arrests related to last year's protests. Since the start of the protests in June 2019, Hong Kong's police has made more than 9,000 arrests. For more updates about this recent crackdown, we are now being joined live by Ryan Ho-Kilpatrick from Hong Kong. Ryan, a very good afternoon to you and thanks so much for joining us. Now, two prominent pro-democracy lawmakers arrested in Hong Kong in connection with anti-government protests which took place last year. So tell us more about these charges and why are they being arrested now, a year later?
Early this morning around 6 a.m., both Ted Hui and Lam Cheuk-ting were arrested, as well as 14 other people, although we don't know about their identities or what they've been charged with yet. Ted Hui was charged in relation to a demonstration last July, the Reclaim Toonmun Park demonstration, and he's being charged with obstructing justice and conspiring to damage property. Same with Lam Cheuk-ting, but Lam has also been charged with rioting in relation to the infamous incident on July 21st last year, when a gang of white-clad men with the triad links started indiscriminately attacking commuters, protesters, and journalists at the Yuen Long MTR station.
Mm-hmm. Now, we also hear that a total of 16 people, including these two prominent lawmakers, have been arrested and have been accused of rioting in last year's protests. And this is just 2 weeks after media tycoon Jimmy Lai's arrest. So what is the message that China is trying to send? Will anyone who is critical of Beijing be punished?
Yes, obviously the dragnet targeting opposition members is widening. A lot of people are very perplexed, especially by Lam Cheuk-ting's arrest in relation to rioting, because he was quite famously a victim of that incident. He notified police before he went there after hearing that people were being attacked. He live streamed and reported to the police when he was there, and he reported to the police afterwards as well, and was indeed thanked by police for notifying of them of the incident and invited to give a statement. So they're very confused about how this victim of the attack has now been accused of being a perpetrator. And so 20 of their colleagues, pro-democracy legislators, released a statement accusing the police of distorting the facts and targeting a victim of this incident. And they're wondering who else could be charged if anyone else would happen to be present there, could also be charged with rioting. So a lot of people are scratching their heads at this moment and wondering what's going on.
Right. Now, finally, what is the course of action that will be taken by pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong? Has this crackdown to a certain extent succeeded in muzzling dissent?
To a certain extent it has. The imposition of a national security law, as well as all the public gathering ordinances that were already in place because of the coronavirus, have really stifled and silenced dissent. And it's had a wide-ranging chilling effect, not only stopping protests on the streets, but also discouraging people from speaking out. People are a lot more reluctant now to criticize the government, fearful that they could be targeted. Even yesterday, medical experts who have criticized the government's tackling of the coronavirus and their plans for mass testing have been accused of politicizing the issue. And so it has protests this time of year, not seeing anything like last year.
Right.
It's down to a lot of things, but clearly the authorities are trying to use the law to target dissent.
Right, Ryan, thank you so much for all your insights on this story, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.